Hi guys, in today's video I am going to be doing a little chatty makeup look for you guys. And this makeup look that I'm going to show you, it's the makeup look that I use often. Most of the time this is the products that I'm using. I sometimes do change a couple of things, but mainly it's the same routine. Just a heads up, if you don't like chatty videos, this video is not for you. In the future I am gonna be doing like more makeup looks and just in general talking about just the products or techniques that I've learned and stuff like that. But this one is just mainly for you guys to get to know me, and also for you guys to know the main products that I do use on a daily. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So let's begin. I already moisturized my face and I use this one, this moisturizer right here. This one you can find it at Target or Amazon, I believe. It's very affordable. I do love this one as well from Estee Lauder, but it's a little bit more expensive, so sometimes I mix both, so I don't use that much of this one because I'm cheap like that, you know. I am not gonna use a primer. I don't usually use a primer if I'm just gonna be filming indoors, but if I am going somewhere where I want my makeup to last longer or look nicer, I do use primer, and I use this one from Benefit. I've tried couple primers and this one's my favorite. As you guys can see, I really need help with my dark under eye circles. For that I do use a couple concealers since I do need a lot of help. If you don't have that issue, you don't need that much concealer underneath your eyes. I use the Studio Finish Concealer NC35 from MAC. My makeup, it's dirty by the way. I did not clean it. I did not have time for that. My brushes are dirty too. No judging. I just got Invisalign and it's going better than the first weeks. Right now it's actually my second week. I just changed my trays and I'm getting more used to them. In the beginning that got me a little bit depressed, I'm not gonna lie. I even stopped eating some meals, skipping my meals, because I didn't want to deal with taking off my trays and everything and having to brush my teeth and flossing and all that. I was like, no. And it was so uncomfortable too. Not like painful, but more uncomfortable. It's worth it if you have some insecurities with your teeth, and that's gonna help you smile or be more confident. It's definitely worth the discomfort for sure. Did I just spit on the camera? I think I spit on my blender. That helps blend the makeup, so. And I have a scar here from when I had a nose ring. But when I was younger, I used to be into piercings, tattoos, as you can tell. I have a big leopard here on my chest. I have this one, and I have this Hello Kitty which I don't even know why I got it, to be honest. I used to love Hello Kitty back when I was super young. Now, I mean, I like it, but it's not like wow, I love it, you know. And there's some tattoos that I do want to get removed. I'm just scared to do it. This one for sure. This one I want to get it removed, and there's a heart that I have on my shoulder that I also want to get removed. I just simply outgrew them. So also another advice, if you're thinking of getting a tattoo, make sure you double think about it. I was very impulsive, so every time I thought of getting something or doing something, I just did it without even thinking about it. So yeah, that's what happened with most of my tattoos. I just thought about them, got them done, and that's it. I love most of my tattoos, and they do hold like a special memory of that time frame in my life. But yeah, I mean, and a lot of people ask me like, do they mean something, especially this one. No, I mean, this one I really love felines in general. I've always had a cat growing up, and I've always identified myself with cats or felines in general. I love leopard print. I've always have. So yeah, there was a time when I was like 22, I think. That was when I got it, when I was 22. And it was like very popular to get tattoos of leopard prints. Not the animal, but like leopard print, like heart or leopard print, just pattern on your skin. And I was like, it would be so cool to get the actual animal. And I just went online, I googled an image, and I showed my tattoo artist like I want something very close to this. He drew it, and yeah, he did it. So that's how I got this tattoo. Is there a particular reason other than the fact that I just love the animal and the print? No, but I do really love that tattoo. I do wish that it was somewhere else, more not that noticeable, because sometimes when people look at me, this is the first thing they see, and I don't want to have that first impression. Like, this does not define me, you know. It's part of me and my personality, but it's not just me being just a tattoo. I don't know if I make sense. So that's the only part of it that I don't like. But yeah, I do love that tattoo. I just wish it was somewhere else. So my mom is taking care of my daughter, so if you hear screaming and crying, that's why. I actually put my trays back in. The bad thing about having Invisalign is that you have to eat fast. I like to take my time with my iced coffee. The more time you have on your trays, the better. So yeah, so they're on, and I have my concealer on. I am gonna curl my lashes because I'm gonna put eyelashes on. I'm gonna use these. I've used them already a couple times. These are the Wispies from Ardell. They're my favorites. I use these all the time. So if you're seeing that I have lashes on, these are the ones. I like that the band is really thin and they don't feel heavy, and I like that they look natural. I put my lashes on. We are going to do foundation. I am going to be using this one. It's the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation from NARS. I feel like I'm talking weird with my retainers, so excuse that. And I hate the fact that I have to brush my teeth every single time after I eat something. I hate having to brush my teeth, because if you don't brush your teeth, you could get cavities. And I get so paranoid that I double brush my teeth and I floss, because imagine, full mouth full of cavities, but at least they're straight. At least they're straight. I usually blend my foundation with a brush, and then afterwards I do a sponge to kind of make sure everything's blended. But yeah, I am pretty much myself all the time. I am not trying to pretend to be something I am not. If there's people that are not gonna like me, it's fine. I am not meant to be liked by everyone. That's completely fine. But I am gonna be myself. So for those who do not know, I am Mexican. I actually was born in Bellflower, California, to be exact, but when I was 3, my parents split up, so we moved back to Mexico, to where my mom is from, and that is Colima. So I grew up there, or spend my childhood there from 3 to until I was 10. So when I was 10, we moved back to LA because, you know, my mom wanted something better for us and we were struggling with money as well. So I'm gonna be using now this concealer, which is from Hourglass in the shade Pearl. And I use this one because I do have a lot of dark under eyes, so this kind of helps it minimize. If you don't have dark under eyes, you really don't need an extra layer of concealer. I do, because I look like a raccoon. I blended with the brush. I feel like the sponge kind of takes away some of the makeup, and this one just kind of buffs it in the skin, so that's why I used the brush for the last concealer. But yeah, we came back when I was 10. I have 2 older sisters, by the way. I am the youngest. I was 10 when we came back. One of my sisters was 17 and the other one was 18. And luckily my aunt took us in. and we stayed in a one-bedroom, me, my two sisters, and my mom, for months. I don't think it was a year, but it was probably 4 to 6 months, I'm guessing. We eventually found an apartment in the ghetto parts of LA. We lived in a very sketchy neighborhood. We stayed there. I remember I went into 5th grade. I did not speak any English. A lady walked me into the class and introduced me to the class, and I was so scared. I was crying. I just didn't want to be there because I didn't speak any English, and I had to sit on the back of the classroom because there was an assistant who spoke Spanish who was kind of like teaching me like material, not from the class, but you know. So yeah, that was my first experience in school when I first came back. Slowly I made some friends. Now I'm gonna use a powder. I do like my foundation or my face to be more on the matte side, so this kind of mattifies it. But yeah, I was really embarrassed when my friend wanted to come over, but because we lived on a 1-bedroom, my two sisters share a bunk bed and I slept with my mom. Yeah, that was a situation and I was embarrassed. I mean, right now I wouldn't be embarrassed because, you know, that's how it was. But yeah, back then, you know, you're younger, you don't really know, you get embarrassed, and I was embarrassed to live like that. Now I'm thankful that we even had somewhere to stay. I'm gonna be doing some highlight with the Maybelline's Age Rewind concealer, basically just for brightening, and this is in the shade Neutralizer. Basically you just apply it on the areas you want to highlight. There's a hair in here. But yeah, that is the story of how we got here. I am still trying to figure out how the correct way to do my eyebrows, or a way that I love the result. I bought so many products, but I still need to try them out, do different things with them. Also eyeshadow, I get intimidated by eyeshadow. I feel like I need to learn more about blending because that's the key, I think, when it comes to doing eyeshadow looks. But I do want to get better at that, and if I learn something, I can share it with you guys. We're on this together. I am going to set it with the translucent powder from Mercier. So I like to brush my eyebrows first before doing anything to them. This is the fastest method that I use when I'm doing my eyebrow. If I'm just trying to do it fast, this is the product that I use, and it is the Anastasia duo powder. If I do want like a really nice brow, I tend to do my brows first. There's a couple products that I use. Let me know if you guys would like to see eyebrow specific content. I can do that because I have so many products that I'm trying out. I'm testing out different ways of doing my eyebrows. So if you would like to see that, let me know. I like my brow to be more on the fluffy side, but still not extremely fluffy. I like it fluffy, but with the structure. I love a good eyebrow. I think the main things that I love doing those days that I'm using a little bit of makeup, I really want my brow to be like, wow. My brow and blush. I feel like that's like, you need to know how to apply really good blush and your eyebrows, and that's it. In terms of romance, I am currently engaged. We are actually trying to have another baby before we plan our wedding because we've been wanting another one. Our daughter, by the way, if you do not know anything about me, if this is your first time watching, I do have a 2-year-old daughter. She's about to be 3, and I don't want them to be too far apart because I'm 7 years apart from my sisters. I was basically on my own, so I don't want that for my daughter or my kids. I would want them to have things in common, to be there for each other. When you're too far apart from your sibling, I feel like you kind of, they're having their own things and you're just kind of by yourself. Actually taking longer than expected. We'll see if it happens, when it happens. I haven't really, before him, I really wasn't on many relationships overall. I had a high school sweetheart, but he moved away, so we only dated for about 6 months, I would say. And I did like him a lot, and I would consider him my first like true boyfriend. So that was one. And then I went out with somebody else for a couple months, and then I was with somebody else for 7 years. And after that day that we broke up, or we ended things, was the hardest day of my life. I was devastated. Like, I was really depressed, you know, as any breakup would be. I was just, you know, when you share so much with a person, like everything, your life revolves around what you had with that person, your routine, the way you acted. Like, it wasn't just, you kind of lose yourself in a way, and you become one with that person. And when things end, it's just like you're trying to figure out who you are. And so I actually took some time off to figure myself out, to just focus on myself. And after a year and a half or 2 years, that's when I started dating. And my friend actually suggested that I would download like dating apps, because she was using dating apps to go on dates. And I was like, oh hell no, I am not doing that. And I was like, you know what, let me just download Tinder just to see what happens. And I was thinking, I am not going to go on a date with anybody from there, because, you know, you don't know them. They could be weirdos or serial killers or who knows. But I actually ended up having really nice conversations with people, with guys. And I did go on a couple dates, which were actually very pleasant. Like, I got to know people from outside of my culture, because I only used to date from my culture, because I was so insecure about my English, and I would always speak Spanish in my house. So like, going out with somebody that didn't speak Spanish was kind of like uncomfortable for me. So that's why. But then I started talking to people who were outside of my culture, and I really enjoyed it. It brought me kind of like more of an open mind. And eventually I went out on a date with my current fiance, and my first impression was he has accent. Yeah, it was just so cute that he had an accent. Right now I'm used to it, I don't even notice it. But yeah, he was really sweet. He paid so much attention. Like, we got to a restaurant, and I remember like he kept asking if I was okay with that place, if I wanted to go somewhere else, or to let him know what I wanted, how I felt, if I felt comfortable. And that kind of made me comfortable and made me want to go on a second date with him. And then we went on a second date, which we went hiking, and then he just wanted to be exclusive. And then it just, you know, we just kept going on dates, and yeah, I felt really comfortable with him, even though he wasn't from my culture, or he didn't even spoke Spanish. Like, I felt really comfortable with him, and he felt really comfortable with me. That's how it happened. So I recommend, if you're single, I'm telling you to go on dating sites, but just go out of your comfort zone. I feel like sometimes we're just in this little bubble, and we don't get to experience other things because we're always on the same routine. I feel like we need to get out of that bubble that we have in order to, you know, venture out to different things and experience things that you don't even know you liked, because you're still in that bubble. So that's what I think. But man, I've heard from my single friends that it is hard to date out there. Like, guys are ghosting people, and guys that are like on their 40s, 30s, like, I would assume they have their ish together, but they're like hiding things and married and ugh. I'm gonna use this bronzer. I recently got this one and I feel like I want more because of how much I like it. This is how it looks like, and that's the She's Sculpted by Patrick. So to contour my nose because it needs a lot of work, you know. I actually wanted to do rhinoplasty. That's how you call it, right? Well, I wanted to get my nose done when I was younger. I mean, I kind of still do. I feel like if you have some insecurities about your body, you want to fix some things, I'm all for it. And I don't have anything done to myself. I'm just right now fixing my teeth, but like surgery or anything, nothing. I've never done Botox or any kind of procedure. I do, however, am considering or always wanted to do my nose and my butt, because there's nothing there, girl. Nothing there. Like vergüenza ajena, because it's nothing there. But right now it's like not really that important for me anymore. I'm like whatever about it. Like I know if I work out it can get to a better shape, because I mean I feel like I've always had wider hips, so that kind of makes it look a little bit like there's something there, but there isn't. It's just I'm just a little bit wider, and I do have a smaller waist, so that helps. But there's like my butt is like, if you have some insecurities and you want to fix it, fix it. We only live once. If that's gonna help you feel happier, go for it. Usually if I want it more defined, like the line more defined, I would highlight here, so the line it's more like straight, more sculpted. Is that the right word? But since I am not trying to go all out on my makeup, I'm just going to do a couple reels. I just do it with a brush. And I like to use an angle brush. Creates a better shape when contouring your cheek. I also put it here around my forehead. I use the NARS Laguna bronzer to go over my nose contour. So now I just did my eyeliner, and I use, you cannot even see it anymore, but it is a Trooper from Kat Von D, and I use the same brow powder for my waterline, or by my waterline. I don't really do much of eyeliner unless I'm going for a specific look. I feel like this is more natural looking, but yeah, usually it's just some kind of brown eyeshadow or the same brow powder that I use for the waterline. That's what I do. I do go in with my blush. This is the blush that I use, and it's super old and I think it's discontinued. I got it from my Ipsy bag, and it looks like this, but if I find it, I'll have it linked down below. I will also link other blushes that I like and that I use, and I usually just like go over all three. I also use the blush trio a lot from Anastasia. I remember one time I was like going crazy with the blush because in my old apartment, like the lighting was really bad and it was dark, so I was like, and I was like, I thought I looked really good, you know. I was going to work and I don't know, I looked in the mirror somewhere like when I was like at work, and I looked like a clown, like it was like so bad. We all live and learn. Sometimes I feel like I went over the blush. I just kind of buff it out with your foundation brush. You can quickly fix that. I'm gonna apply some highlight. Just get some and I put it on my nose, and I also put it on my cheek, my chin, underneath my brow, the other side as well. Spray some setting spray from Urban Decay. Then I go back again with either the same highlight, because I feel like with the setting powder it just kind of pops the highlight even more. And I have two highlights that I like to use. It's also this one from BECCA. And then I'm gonna do my lips and my lower lashes. So I'm gonna use this from Tarte mascara on my lower lashes. I always get asked about my lipstick. Most of the time I'm wearing these two, which are from MAC. One is the Runway Hit and then the Relentlessly Red as well. Sometimes I do line my lips, not all the time, but right now I am gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury's Pink Venus. I usually go in with the Runway Hit first. This is how that lipstick looks on by itself. Sometimes I just use this one by itself. And then this one, sometimes I go over it like on the inner part of my lip to do like an ombre effect. I just really need to be careful because it transfers to my trays and it makes my trays like have lipstick on them. It's not the look we're going for, okay? Sometimes I might put more of the Runway Hit on top, so it depends, but I use these two all the time. Okay, so I did my hair, kind of fixed my bangs a little bit, but I am gonna film some reels right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little chatty makeup look. I hope that you got to know me a little bit more and let me know what other kind of content you would like to see on my channel, and until the next one, bye. This makeup look is the look or the makeup look that I fuck it, can't even talk. I don't even know how to